to the latest episode of Text Talks. Today I have Mr. Bernard Wattel from Wattel Fitness with me. Bernard, how are you doing today?
Yes, Dad, thanks for the invitation. I'm doing very well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm good. I'm still on holiday, so I can't really complain. I've still got a week or so of a break. So yeah, I'm very, very chilled still and excited for the 2023 season. I'm sure you're very excited for the schoolboy season coming up as well. I know you with
Yes.
Durbanville High School. How are things looking over there?
Yes. No, it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be a good year. I'm at the under 14s at the moment. I think it's going to be a good year. We've got a strong team coming in. Last year I was with under 16s. It was a bit tougher, but I think it's going to go better for them as well with some recruits coming in for this year. So hopefully it's going to be nice to watch the under 19 games as well. But yeah, under 14s, I think it's going to be a good year. And yeah, we started. And we ended off last year on a good note, and we're going to start off next week again after the orientation, and then we're gonna keep it up from there.
Yeah, awesome. I know Durbanville High School is one of those schools in the northern hemisphere, not northern suburbs, northern hemisphere.
Yes.
The northern suburbs that's also climbing the ranks, much like a Stellenberg, and I know they're your big rivals. But yeah, it's exciting to see you guys also in the big tournaments. So a proper program going on there, and I know with yourself as a skills coach. It's also very important to get those under 14s on the right track and learning the basics as soon as possible. But before we get into too much detail, let's just get to know you a little bit. So tell the viewers, who is Bernard Wattel?
So I'm a sports coach. All in all, coaching is what I do. It's what I want to do for the rest of my life. At the end of the day, I've got a skills business on the side. I've been coaching since 2013. I started off at Geno Primary, and then I worked up to high school, and then I went back to the primary just to get the feel of it again. Studied sports management at Stellenbosch as well, and yeah, my main focus is basically coaching. So I did most of all the coaching courses, S&C, your IRB coaching, etc. The sevens as well, 1 or 2 officials courses, just to get the knowledge around everything. Obviously, match analyzing, also a big fan of it. I think if you can get yourself extra knowledge, do some analyzing for a year or two. That's also a big part of it. But yeah, I did 1 or 2 things around. I was a little bit in the Netherlands to do some coaching as well. A whole different setup on that side. So it was quite nice to learn the ins and the outs. But in the second, third month, I already started to miss South Africa with our whole setup and structures on this side. It's just wonderful. The fields, the conditioning of the players is just top class. So yeah, that's me. I've got my sideline business, fitness business, skills business on the side. My biggest belief is in growing the players from a young age. I think it's very important to lay down the blocks, and not maybe structured wise, but more skills wise. So that's the time that they take the most in. I think that especially the younger guys.
Yeah, look, if we just hang on that point for a moment, I think what you've mentioned is very important. And from previous episodes, it's come up as well that so many of our high school coaches worry about structure, right? The 1-3-3-1 and the set plays off of a line out and a scrum and all these systems. But at the end of the day, what was very interesting from a coaching seminar that I did in December is when our under 20 head coach, Bafana Nklego, said that, you can't play any of those structures without the skills. And what you're doing is teaching those basic skills. Rugby is a very difficult game if you don't have those basic skills. Those structures mean nothing.
And it's getting more and more competitive as well, because the guys are and the players are bigger. It seems like when I was 18 years old and the size that the guys are now, it's totally different. So it's nutrition plans from a young age, fitness plans from a young age, all those type of things that we didn't have 10, 20 years back, which is making a big difference. So if you want to reach the top level, you have to keep up. And that's where we come in, trying to develop the smaller skills that you guys don't, or the coaches sometimes don't focus on at schools as well. That's a big part. Because I am at the schools, I see what we try and do. So I try and work on a different angle at the skill setup.
Yeah, and just also maybe a mention that you've mentioned the school you're involved in, as well as you've spent some time in the Netherlands, but we actually got to know each other when we coached together at Brackenfell Rugby Club at the under 20s, which is a Super League A club here. And we're currently also working together with the Western Province Talent Identification Program, where the both of us are involved with the under 18s there as well. So you do have a nice wide spectrum over different levels of exposure to kids from primary school, high school, and then also provincial structures and club structures. So I think very important to have somebody like you work with players where you can also tell them where they are now and also what it's going to be like, where they're going, because you have a good idea of what.
Yes, that's the main thing. Definitely, I think that's the main thing. The guys are very unsure about where are they headed and how to get there. I just see the Springboks, and that's what they say, and that's what they see, and that's where they want to go, obviously, at the end of the day. So I think we need to help them.
And again, I'm going to mention Bafana's talk with our schoolboy coaches was, guys, spend more time on basic skills, because they don't have it at under 20 international level. And we also had Jimmy Starnhouse there, and he said the exact same thing. And we even had Jock Ninobre, and he said the exact same thing. He was doing passing with the Springboks. So it's a very basic skill, and sometimes we assume that the players are good at it when they're all at a big school or they're playing A team, and in actual fact they don't even train it, because your schoolboy coaches, like you've mentioned, we spend so much time on structure and getting our strike plays and things like that, we almost don't have enough time to also fine-tune those skills, which is where a skills coach comes in and helps a lot.
Yeah, we got a limited enough time,
Yeah, so just before we get into your skills program that you run, a quick recap on 2022. Obviously, Durbanville High School made name and beat Sachs and was taking part in the North-South series. What did you take out of the 2022 season? What do you see the trends would be for schoolboy rugby in 2023?
I think, like I said, I think we're gonna have we had a tough year last year with our under 16, so I think it's gonna be difficult to rebuild that. But like we also talk, it's about the depth as well, and I think we struggled a little bit with that, and that's obviously a little bit of a difference for this year. I think we got a lot of new guys in just to strengthen the seconds and the thirds as well. And then obviously your first is going to do better. So I think it's going to be a better year for Durbanville across all borders. Hopefully we can be more competitive at the north-south as well. I see we're playing Pretoria Boys High, so that's also going to be a nice game to play. We've never played against them, so I think it's going to be a nice competition to see where are we after the season or pre-season, etc. I think under 14s, the guys that are coming in under 14s, under 15s are going to be a good. I think it's also going to be a good season. Under 16s, I think we lost one or two players, but I think with all the guys, one or two of the guys that's coming in again, we will be able to strengthen it. But I think the main problem last year was a little bit of depth. This year, I think we're definitely gonna be up there.
Do you expect the schoolboy game to move in a specific direction?
Well, if I just look at one or two of the tournaments that we were in, obviously it's the rucking. And the counter ruck is a big part of the game, and I've seen schools especially put a lot of effort into that, especially the counter rucking. I think that's starting to get a little bit more part of the game instead of where the guys usually stand off and rather spread out for the defense. One of the other things I just made one or two notes as well. I think the defensive systems that the guys use is also getting in place at the younger stages. You obviously see it not working that well because the guys aren't understanding always, because they get told what to do, but they don't get told why to do it or when to do it, or what to look out for at the end of the day. So I think on that note, if I take last night's game, Glasgow against Stormers as well, it's a rush defense at the end that cost us a little bit dearly, and I think it's just one or two things that set it up, and that gave Glasgow a little bit of momentum just to get over the gain line. And if I look at the defensive systems for the younger teams, that's the trend that they're trying to set off. I think they're tracking it off the URC, the defensive, the rushing the whole time, where usually I felt a few years back the guys were a little bit lazier off the line. So I think that's definitely something getting drilled into the guys, if I can say it like that.
Definitely. So Bernard, jy is besig met vaardigheidsontwikkeling vir jong seuns daar buite, veral hier in ons noordelike voorstede van Kaapstad. So ek weet jy het 'n kliniek of twee op pad. Vertel vir ons 'n bietjie meer oor wat jy spesifiek beplan vir Januarie en dan ook jou vooruitsigte met vaardigheidsontwikkeling vir later in die jaar.
Yes. So ons het nou 'n fikheidskliniek, bietjie gefokus op skills en maar meestal fiksheid net om te sien waartoe gaan die ouetjies. Ons skep so 'n bietjie van 'n profiel vir hulle om vir hulle 'n bietjie meer duidelikheid te gee waar is hulle en waartoe werk ons. Ek werk meeste van die tyd met ouetjies wat graag wil werk vir WP Kruimeweek, wat graag wil werk vir Grand Como, en daai tipe goed. So ons sit vir ons goeie doelwitte uit. Ons is nie, as ons oefen ons hard. As ons die kliniek doen, ons is redelik gefokus op ons toetse, brankous, daai tipe goedjies. Ons doen ons kragtoetse. En dan, as ons nou kyk vir later in die jaar, sal ons meer skills klinieke hou, en ek sal graag vir jou betrokke wil kry, daar sal gereed wees. Ons wil graag wel 'n bietjie meer fokus op player specific positioning, want die oudjies ken nie dit altyd nie. En dit is maar moeilik met tyd hierdie loop van die jaar. Die goeders, tyd gaan so vinnig, soos ons sien, ons is al klaar weer in die 10de dag van Januarie, so, of die 9de dag van Januarie. So, ek dink dit is ons fokus. My fokus vir die algemeen vir Wattel Fitness en vir die skills is player development, net vorentoe reg deur die jaar. Ons begin Januarie, ons eindig Desember, ons eindig nie eintlik nie, ons hardloop eintlik reg deur. So, ja, dit is die fokus. Ons gaan probeer om events te hou vir jonger ouderdomme ook, om 'n bietjie die fitness aspek in te kry, dat die oudjies bietjie meer doen, want ek voel die kinders sit maklik oor 'n naweek agter die PlayStation en kyk jy rugby op die TV, wat nie sleg is nie, maar jy moet 'n bietjie 1 of 2 ekstra goedjies doen. Want die skoolse oefeninge is nie altyd genoeg nie, want party skole kan partykeer net dalk 2 keer 'n week oefen, wat verstaanbaar is met akademie en sulke goed, maar dan moet jy maar daai ekstra effort insit om daar uit te kom waar jy wil uitkom. Maar ja, dit is ons goed vorentoe.
Ja, ek dink veral weer eens, ons is almal betrokke by skole en veral as jy opgaan, dis moeilik vir 'n onder 19 afrigter met net 3 sessies 'n week, 'n uur sessie elke of 'n uur en 'n half, om te fokus op sisteme, om te fokus op scrums en lynstane en verdedigingspatrone, en jy moet skoppe oefen en jy moet al hierdie goeders oefen. En dit is eintlik baie voordelig vir enige afrigter om ook iemand soos 'n vaardigheidsafrigter soos jy betrokke te hê by die skool, of wat ten minste vir die kinders kan sê, luister, jy gaan maak 'n draai daar en gaan skerp jou vaardighede meer op, om daai ekstra tyd in te sit. Dit is, soos ons met baie van die ouens praat, dis ons rugby by skole in Suid-Afrika is semi-professioneel, en die vaardigheidsvlakke is uitstekend, maar dit het altyd nog werk nodig. Dit moet altyd nog verbeter, en om die kind in die beste posisie te sit om A-spanne te haal, of soos jy sê, provinsiale spanne te haal, is 'n vaardigheidsafrigter altyd 'n goeie ding om te hê in die sakkie.
Nee, definitief. Hoe harder jy kan werk, hoe beter. As iemand wat altyd harder werk as jy. So, dit is die, as jy nie harder werk as daai ou nie, is jy altyd tweede, verstaan? So, dit is my motto ook. Selfs maar met die besigheid, jy sal sien, mens moet maar, as jy alles doen, jy moet maar die hele tyd werk, en jy moet maar, is maar mentaliteit op die einde van die dag ook. Ek sien, obviously, almal het nou nuwejaars resolutions en al daai tipe goed, maar dis 'n mental ding. Jy moet dit reg deur die jaar kan doen, nie net Januarie en Februarie. Die mens moet, en dit is maar waar die mense wat uitstaan, ek gaan nou maar sy naam gebruik, Cristiano Ronaldo, dis waar daai tipe ouens, hoe die res uitstaan, hè. Daai ouens se mentaliteit is net anders as ons, en hulle werk net soveel harder, en hulle sit net soveel meer effort in, maar dis obviously natuurlik 'n heeltemal ander loopbaan, gelukkig. Ons by die ovalballetjie en nie by die ronde balletjie betrokke.
Ja, ek dink ook jy het 'n kontroversiële tyd van sy loopbaan gebruik om vir Cristiano Ronaldo as 'n voorbeeld te gebruik. Maar ons verwys meer na die speler in sy ouer dae as nou.
Yes.
Vertel vir ons 'n bietjie meer van die huidige kliniek wat jy nou gaan hou. Wanneer is dit? Waar is dit? Hoe kan mense in kontak kom met jou?
So dit is nou die 12de, die 13de Januarie, dis nou donderdag en Vrydag, en ons is in Billawil geleë, 150 meter van die hoërskool af. Dit is Parkstraat nommer 8, langs aan Koeberg. Baie naby aan die tennisbane ook. So enige kontak kan jy net vir my kontak op 076-8933-472. So dis die maklikste manier, en dan van daar af sal ek dit deursit na die admin toe, en dan sort ons jou uit. Daar is nog 'n paar spots oop. Daar is seker so, dit is 'n limited ding, so ons wil nie te veel oudjies nie, wat anders is die aandag ook heeltemal uitgesprei. By 'n of die dag wil jy graag daai oudjies se aandag hou deur die loop van die sessie. So ja, ons sit, en dan sit nou donderdag, Vrydag net so voor die skole begin, net om te sien waar is julle en waaraan moet 'n mens werk. Dit is eintlik die myn doel, om te kyk waar is ons en wat gaan ons moet doen om beter te raak vorentoe.
Is daar spesifieke ouderdomsgroepe wat jy op wil konsentreer?
So ons het op enigiets van onder 12, onder 13, eintlik meer onder 13 en op tot en met onder 15, onder 16 toe. So dit is ons hoofgroep. Onder 19s, hulle het heeltemal hulle eie program wat hulle op die oomblik hardloop, so ons wil nie nou in te veel inmeng daarmee nie. So dit is maar meestal van onder 13 af onder 16 toe, net om te kyk meer die krag, en jy kan daai groep, dit gaan nie meer oor ouderdoms, maar meer die fiksheid wat ons eintlik en ek sal die ouer oudjies leer weer vir die jonger oudjies.
Die kontakbesonderhede sal ons onder aan die skerm gooi. Die mense wat die logootjie sien, sal sien daai logootjie kom al 'n lang tyd saam met TexTalk. Hy sal hankal op So nou weet julle waarvoor daai snaakse BW staan. If we move towards the other part of your job, I know you're a skills coach and that's your passion, but you also do the fitness thing. Tell us a little bit more about your fitness programs and your fitness classes that you run.
Yeah, so we run basic group fitness classes. So basically what you would do in a gym on your own or at a boot camp class or at a CrossFit, we aren't at all CrossFit related, but one or two of the exercises that you would do there, we try and mix it up in one session. Each day you will do a session of weight training and body weights, and we've got machines, we've got the salt bike, we've got rowing machines, we've got the treadmills, etc., etc. So yeah, we've got a lot of equipment. We've got squat racks as well, pull-up bars, and we try and get all of the aspects of training into one session. And also my biggest thing, and that's why I started, is the most expensive. It's too expensive for people to train at the bigger commercial gyms, and that's where I come in, because I wanted to cater for myself for a cheaper fitness industry, and that's where we started it. And at the end of the day, we realized that you don't have to get 1,500 rand out of a person to start. You don't even have to get 1,000 rand out of a person to get them to train. Yeah, it's more about the family at the end of the day. So our classes are a little bit smaller as well. Again, situated for more personal development, so we can get your personal attention. Classes are max 15 people. Yeah, we've got apps sending out which are the dates and the times that you can choose. Sending out also which are the different programs for each day. Yeah, that's what we do. We've got 5 o'clock classes until about 8 o'clock. Throughout the whole day. We've got afternoons as well. So yeah, basically to cater for anybody that any time of the day. Yeah, and we focus on weight loss, muscle toning. What your focus is, that's what we focus on.
Awesome. That. And again, we'll throw all those details on with the ads and stuff. But if we go back to rugby, Bernard,
yes.
Right now we are in January and we know that the tournaments are coming up. So let's break it up into two. Let's first talk schools. What are the schools, or who are the schools that you think we should look out for in 2023?
2023. Do you want me to talk about the under-19s or more the younger, or just overall?
Schools in general.
Okay, schools in general, man. I think definitely, obviously, I'm going to say it. I am there. I have to say it as well. Durban, we are definitely going to do better. You have to watch out. I think one of the schools as well, Stellenberg. I think it's going to be nice to see how they perform in the Premier League. Premier League. Sorry, I'm thinking about the football, but yeah, you understand what I mean. And as well, I think one of the schools I would like to see is Outeniqua. They had a great year last year, and I want to see how they top that. Are they going to top it? Are they going to stay the same? Are they going to do a worse than last year? I don't think it's possible to how do you say, top that, really, if you think how well they did. So I think it's going to be tough.
They would have to, because it's their centenary year this year. They turn 100, and they are the host of the Crown Week. So they better step it up.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I think as well, if you look at obviously the biggest schools, I'm always keen for the Paul boys and the Paul Gym, always just to see what they're going to bring to the table again. And then school that I'm also keen to see, and I think it's more on the 16s, maybe I'd say in 2 years' time. I'm looking at Bernard Wattel. I'm keen to see where they are going as well. I know there's 1 or 2 good players heading their way, so I just want to see where they end up. Obviously, again, coaching, but they've got a great coaching structure there as well. So I would like to see them. If I look at the other teams, I know you at Brackenfell High School. I would like to see how they're doing as well with all your new insets, because I'm following you the whole time and I see it's great. All the exercises and everything that you guys are doing. So, and that's definitely going to make a difference, because if they didn't have it and they have it and they do it now, it's definitely going to make a difference. So yeah, keen to watch you guys as well.
Awesome. If you look at national weeks, I know province is always there and province is always favorites, but do you see any other provinces maybe stepping up at Grand Como and Craven Week level?
I very much enjoyed the Pumas last year. I very much enjoyed their rugby.
Undefeated.
And then yes, and then who was it again? The Falke also had a great team last year. I think one or two. I'm not sure if they. Can't remember the one of the two of the games that they lost, but I watched them and they had great individual players as well. And then the other team that are obviously like you said, the Western Province. I'm not the Lions, Blue Bulls, etc. But what was the other team as well? Border. I liked Border last year as well. They were a surprise package, and I want to see what they are going to do this year. Are they going to keep it up again? How are they going to do it? It's difficult for the smaller unions because you lose a lot of players if you have an ecstatic team or a great team. Then you're obviously going to lose a lot of players. So I'm keen to see what they're doing as well.
Definitely, I know, and I myself am a big Border fan. And later on in the series, we do have Chase Morrison from Selborne and the head coach of the Border Craven Week side here as well to hear their input on a fantastic 2022 where they very nearly upset the apple cart at the Craven Week when they played both province sides, closely lost to the A side and beat the B side. So yeah, obviously doing some good stuff there. And they've got quality schools like Queen's College and Selborne and Hudson Park as well with James Winstanley, the SA Schools coach, who's involved there. So it's proper structures there at Border. If we then wind it down, Bernard, thank you very much for your time. We really do appreciate it. And if you get the opportunity to support Wattel Fitness, please do so. Keep an eye out on this page. We'll share when clinics will be going on. I strongly recommend that you get your kids. And if you are a player that's watching, I strongly recommend that you get a skills coach to do extra work with. It's very important, especially if you want to play a team or make a provincial side or maybe even an SA school side or an EPD squad. You've got to work on your basics. Very lastly, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? What does the next 5 to 10 years look like for Mr. Wattel?
Well, at the moment, I'm very happy at Dermaville. So we're going to see how the year goes. I'm keen to see how we're gonna do this year with all the bigger schools, etc. And obviously the fixtures that's put out for us. So I'm keen to see what we're going to do there. So at the moment, I'm very happy there, but I'm very excited about what the Western Province tip with you about the games. That's my main focus as well at the moment. So I'm keen to see where we go after that. Like I said, it's always unpredictable with sports. It's competitive, so you win some, you lose some. Yeah. If it goes your way, it goes your way. If it doesn't, then you have to stand up and go on from there. So we will see how it goes. But my first focus now is Western Province tip to see how the games go, the development with the guys, and then obviously the under-14s where I am at Durbanville at the moment. A lot of the guys that I got there as well, and a lot of the guys that I'm actually working with privately are going to Durban, which is great. So it's going to be nice to see where all the guys actually going to perform on the field or not.
Awesome, right. Yeah, just if there's any viewers who don't know what the Western Province TIP is, it's the talent identification program where we basically work with players that's not in Premier A or Premier B schools, talent that is identified as players that can potentially play for province. We work with them from late October up until about March when the trials start. They play a couple of games together and then hopefully a couple of them get opportunities to play provincially. And it's a nice opportunity for us to also work with players that are not highly skilled, but highly enthusiastic about developing the game, but maybe don't have the access to resources. So I'm very excited for that and for the role that you play there as well. Right, thank you very much for your time. Please support Wattel Fitness. The contact details at the bottom of the screen. Watch the page for future clinics and classes and specials that might be on offer. And then thank you very much, Bernard, and all the best for 2023. Take care.
Thanks, appreciate it.